Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott, and you, my dear little knuckleheads, you've wandered into the number one, well, actually, Kevin, the number two prog rock channel on all of YouTube. We bow to the greatness of Pete Pardo and all things. That's all right. It's fine. You know, my ego can handle it. It's all good. He's been doing it a very long time. And today's episode, boys and girls, is dedicated to Oliver Braveheart Lade. My 9-year-old Jack Russell Chihuahua mix. He lost his battle, man. He was fine a week ago, and then everything just kind of came crashing down. I had to say goodbye to him Friday. We thought about canceling the show, but you know what? You good little boys and girls in Progland, you deserve nothing but the best. Ollie was a big Prog fan. He would want the show to go on, Kevin, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah.
You know he would. You know Ollie the Prog dog.
All dogs go to heaven,
They
and
do.
they only play Prog in heaven, so of course.
Oh, yeah, maybe a little metal. Maybe a little bit of metal in heaven too. I don't know, but today's show is chock full of greatness. Your eyes do not deceive you, boys and girls. We've put together the show of the decade as we talk about perhaps the debut album of the decade. Kevin, you're showing the graphic. Let me introduce to you my guests today, none other than the mastermind behind the brand new album called Agropelter is the band. It's called The Book of Hours. Kay Olsen, welcome to the Prog Corner, Kay. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I can't wait to talk to you about who are you and why did you put out a record so good from somebody I'd never heard of before? This is crazy. This is nuts. This is insane. Why is Jonas Reingold on the show, boys and girls? Well, you could have probably figured it out. Yeah, Jonas plays a little bit of bass guitar on the album, don't you?
Well, yeah. I had the privilege to put some tracks down for Kay. Yeah, and it was great music, so of course I accepted.
Yeah. And I'm gonna drill down on how he got you on his album. Although you're everywhere kind of these days, so I don't know. But Ken Golden put this thing out on Laser's Edge. It's an absolutely beautiful, stunning package. Ken Golden, the professor, his debut appearance in the Prog Corner. It doesn't make sense, but here he is. Welcome, Ken.
Scott, I didn't know if I could be on the show and not be sitting in the back seat of a car.
Oh no! Yeah. But, you know, at least we don't have the printing press working overtime, printing up T-shirts from imaginary bands like that other guy does. You know, we're talking about Pete Pardo, and in his garage, he's got like this T-shirt making machine. And he just invents bands, and then he does rankings of said bands on the Sea of Tranquility, and then he sells the T-shirts out of his garage. It's a hoax. Don't believe a word of it. Look at this. Ken. Man, oh man, this is a beautiful package, dude. Here's the gatefold. Thank you for sending me an advanced copy. It's absolutely gorgeous. The album sounds amazing. Why does this album sound so good, Ken? Who did you have mixing it and mastering it?
Well, Jacob did a wonderful job mixing and mastering. We had Chris Muth cut the lacquers, and Chris is with Jacob's what? Dangerous Music? Is that the
Dangerous
company?
Music? Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris is a genius, and I mean he's a guy who restored the lathes at Sterling Sound, and one of the things that he does is masters albums. He cuts lacquers. So one thing I wanted to point out that people should understand about this record is that we had it pressed in the U.S. at Gotta Groove. And Gotta Groove is one of the up and coming pressing plants. It's very expensive to press there, but the quality is fantastic. So people don't understand that a lot of these releases, sometimes they get albums, they buy vinyl, they're spending a lot of money on these albums, they get them and they sound like shit. When I say sound like shit, they're noisy because there are pressing plants in the US and in Europe which are kind of low budget and the quality is not there. But Gotta Groove out of Cleveland, Ohio, phenomenal. They're on par with Palace, RTI, QRP. They're on that level. And I sound my
Ken,
walk the extra mile.
I've had quite a few people comment about the album artwork. Everybody's claiming it's AI. But I see there's like an artist credited on the inside. What's the story with this artwork, man? Because it is really, really cool. It's really strong. It's a really strong image. Who is this artist?
Yeah, well, he's a friend of mine. He's a bass player, actually, in a Oslo-based band called Label. I think it's a good question because some of the stuff on the album are AI, but it's woven into this type of stuff because he's a Photoshop master. So it's kind of a hybrid, you could say.
Now, I'm no AI hater. We've got a lot of AI haters in the Prog community, Kevin. Have you been noticing this?
Oh, yeah.
If anything even whiffs of AI, people are like, throw the yellow card, man. Throw the flag.
I'm old enough to remember when people hated Photoshop. When Photoshop first came on, and then you had the whole, is digital art really art? Well, obviously, over time, that arguments get settled. So it's a tool like any others, but what you do with that tool makes a world of difference.
The great French-Canadian Prog artist Jacob Roberge has spoken. He says the artwork's cool, so that's all I need to know. Yeah, we can hate AI as a concept, but you know what, Julie? It is part of life, and there's ways to integrate it in such a way that the human spirit's still involved, and you're utilizing it just as a tool, like electricity was a tool. Bob Dylan, discovered electricity, right?
I mean, people use stock photos all the time, and nobody seems to have a problem with the stock photo, but yet you use AI.
It's all about the implementation, really.
We're digressing. You know what? I'm 7 minutes in, and I haven't introduced my sixth and final guest. Ken kind of dropped the ball there. It was kind of supposed to be his segue to pass the baton over to Jacob so we could introduce the one, the only. We're at a lot of risk here, me fanboying out too much today because I am a huge fan of everything this guy touches. It's Jacob Holm-Lupo. Oh, the great guy behind all those White Willow records. Ken, you and Jacob go back a little ways, right?
1994, 93?
Yeah, I think 93 was the first time we had some faxes back and forth.
Jacob was like 12 years old and he sent me demos.
Were they any good though?
They were good. They were good. And
it was
Jacob, I always tell Steve Feigenbaum, we always make fun of this. So originally before it was White Willow, didn't you have a name like Merkvither or something like that?
That's some kind of Norse thing, some kind of Viking thing.
Something with like umlauts or something. I don't know. Something I couldn't, and it was ridiculous. But he sent me this really good, progressive, folky thing, and I was interested, and it just developed. And next thing you know, I was seeing them playing at Prog Fest out in Los Angeles.
So it wasn't you who suggested to Jacob that perhaps he changed the name of the band, Ken? Was that at your suggestion?
I think it was. He came up with White Willow. I didn't come up with White Willow, but I knew Merkvither was not going to sell albums.
Yeah. Not ringing too many bells.
That we had some names floating around, and the Viking name was definitely a no-go for Ken, and then we settled on White Willow instead, so that was for the better, for sure.
I think so.
Hey, we got the great Mark. You know who he is? He's from Project Gemini. Kevin, he's in the house. He just noticed that Jonas is on the panel. Okay, yeah, Jonas is on the panel. You should know these things. Mark, you're a bass player. That should have been like the first thing you noticed. It's like, hey, Jonas Reingold, the greatest bass player on planet Earth, is in the Prog Corner today. Yeah, hello. It's a good day. It's a good day in the Prog Corner. And we are here, honestly, just to talk about whatever the heck we want to talk about. But there was a reason why. And that is because Ken just put out, it comes out what? July 25th, Ken?
Comes out Friday. Yeah.
Comes out Friday, July 25th. It's available on CD. I know we've been showing the vinyl left and right, but there is a CD version of this, right, Ken? Beautiful. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Yeah. And the vinyl, you know, the people on this channel love their vinyl. They absolutely do. And you will not be disappointed. It sounds amazing. It looks great. The packaging is cool, too, because you know, sometimes you get vinyl and like you're trying to put it back. Like, I don't know about you. I'm trying to put the vinyl back in, you know, because I'm not one of those guys that puts it behind the outer sleeve like those, you know, vinyl nerds do. I want to put it back in and it won't go in because it's too small and it drives me nuts. This is absolutely beautiful packaging. It looks great. Sounds great. The band is called Agropelter. It's the brainchild of Kay Olsen. And somehow Kay was able to get these heavyweights. It's not just Jonas Reingold on this album, boys and girls. Oh, no, no, no. We've got Mattias Olsson on this album, too. We should have had him on the show, but, we can only have so many people on the show at once. Kay, tell me about how you came about writing this material, putting this thing together, attracting Ken Golden's attention and getting Jonas and Jacob. This sounds crazy. How did all this happen?
Well, I think I started messing around on, Max come pre-installed with GarageBand, and I started just messing around. And one day it had an update with a Mellotron. I just started playing with it, and all of a sudden I have some songs. Yeah. And I decided to pursue it, and I had a record.
And to answer Jeff Shilka's question, we're absolutely going to listen to a little bit off this album. And thank you, Jeff, for all your condolences regarding my precious Oliver. I really appreciate you, Jeff. It's been a rough time here in Prog Corner Central. Mrs. Lade has been grieving. Pet owners understand. They get under your skin and into your heart, and it's insane, especially for my wife and myself. We do not have any kids, so the pets become like surrogate children. They just absolutely do. So it's been a tough time, but I'm telling you what has really been helpful, Kay. It's been some of the tunes on this record, man. Definitely music is a great source of healing. And tell me a little bit about these songs and what your influences were, because I hear quite a few. I'm not gonna spill the beans. I'll let you say what your background is and what your influences were, because to me they sound like they're all over this record, but it still sounds like nothing I've ever heard before.
Cool. Yeah. Well, originally I'm a guitar player. I started out with fanboying on Dream Theater back in the 90s, like a lot of people, and they were kind of my gateway drug. And through them, I learned about Genesis and Yes and all those classic bands. And lately, I've been listening to a lot of obscure prog as well. And I think, I didn't try to make this album sound like the influences in some way. But you know what? I'm a really big Genesis fan. I listen to a lot of Genesis and classical composers also. And I think I've did it before, Vangelis, Beethoven, all that stuff. So
there were some passages, Kay, where I'm picking up like some Rachmaninoff. Did you ever vibe to Rachmaninoff?
Oh yeah, I love it.
I was wondering if I was hearing things, and so we move along. We're getting influenced by all this stuff. We're playing around with GarageBand. We're laying down some tracks. How does that turn into this? I mean, what was the next step along the way?
Well, the pandemic hit around 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I guess a lot of musicians were out of work. And I believe I talked to Jacob first and asked him if he wanted to mix and master. But I needed to record first because it was in the demo stage. I believe all was digital files, so I needed to record first. And I hit up Jonas as well, basically a hero of mine since 2000 or something when I heard the Flower Kings for the first time. So, the pandemic
It gave
gold mine for me.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of people looking for something to do and really couldn't go anywhere. So yeah, what, you want me to lay down a couple tracks, do a little file sharing? Yeah, we can do that. Jacob, what were you thinking when you heard these tracks for the first time? Did you think this was something you could sink your teeth into and make it sound this good? Because this thing sounds amazing.
Yeah. No, I was immediately when I heard the songs, I knew that this was something special. And also it was very well recorded by Kai, so it was an easy job to mix it. But yeah, it was just one of those things. I mean, I get so much music through my studio, and most of it's good, some of it's really good, but only so often do you get something like Kai's record where it's like, this is probably going to end up on a lot of people's, album of the year lists. So it was a real privilege to work with it. I love every second of the record. And just to say something about what Ken said, because well, I do a lot of mastering, and sometimes the label is kind enough to send back a vinyl, and very, very often a vinyl is a disappointment, especially like Ken says here in Europe, because the pressing plants are just not that good, and you get it back with crackle and no high end, and vinyl in the 2020s is very often a disappointment. So I was really excited when Ken said that Chris Muth was involved, because he's the best guy on the planet for that. And the vinyl sounds so fucking good. So I'm really, really happy about it. It's special.
It is. It looks cool. It sounds cool. Kevin, let's think about listening to a track. There's a couple videos available right now that have been released before the actual release date of the album. One is called Levitator. It's the second track on the album. Do we have that queued up, Kev?
We do. You ready?
Hey, let's listen to some Agropelter, boys and girls. This is going to be awesome. The song's called Levitator. Is that in Norway, Kai?
Maridalen in Oslo.
Ah.
Pure ABBA, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I believe Kai plays all the guitars, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're getting a few questions in the peanut gallery, Kai, about questions about instrumentation. Some of the keys that were used in particular, people were wanting to know. That's this nerdy audience of mine, man. Who cares what keys you're using? Apparently, they want to know. Especially, there's some musicians in the house, so I guess they want to know all the ins and outs, how you got some of those sounds.
Yeah, well, the ending part, that's a real church organ. It delayed, the release of the record for, I believe, a year or something like
Oh, really?
that. So, yeah.
What? Yeah,
for the keys, I believe I used Pro DGX, and I also believe I use a digital version of Oberheim or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Beautiful sounds. Now, that wasn't you on bass on that track, Jonas, was it?
No, I played fretless on this recording, so I did 2 tracks fretless. So I don't know who was playing here. Was it program based or?
No, that's me playing bass.
That's what not bad, not Jonas, right?
Competition,
not
right
bad.
there. Competition, man.
Hey, Julie's got a question for you, Kai. Agropelter.
Yeah.
What's an agropelter, dude? What's that mean?
Well, it's a long story, but the Genesis album, A Trick of the Tail, has a song called Squonk, right? I guess you guys have heard that one. And I wondered, what is a squonk? So I went to check it out, and on this web page, you could see a squonk and also an agropelter.
Huh.
So I said, I've never heard about that before. So why not use it?
Yeah, it's like a gorilla ape kind of thing.
Yeah.
You just sold twice as many records with that mention of squonk.
Yeah,
exactly. And I learned something because I played that song 1 million times, with Steve.
Yeah.
We played squonk when we did the 50 years anniversary. No, 50 years when we did names. This live album from 77.
Yeah, the Seconds Out stuff.
Second out, thank you.
Sorry about that.
The show starts with that track, but I never knew what it meant, so I learned something today.
Hey, Jonas, I follow you on Facebook, and there was a post. You were hanging out with Steve yesterday, I guess. Any news on the Steve Hackett front?
Yeah, I spent a week in Steve's house, and a great host, and we recorded some things for his upcoming album, and we are in the first stage of it right now. Just trying some ideas and see what's making it to the final stage of the album, but it's great to be part of it because his right hand, Roger King, will quit in November.
You heard it here first, boys and girls. I hadn't heard that news before. Well, this is breaking news, is it not, Jonas?
Not really breaking news. It's
a
little bit, but he did his 35 years with Steve.
Only 35 years with Steve Hackett. That lazy bum. He should have been fired a long time ago for not committing.
No, it's very undramatical split. He announced that a year ago already. So Steve. Steve knew about everything, and now he is trying to make a new working platform for him because Roger has been his right hand for so many years, taking care of everything, producing the albums, being the hub of files when we recording, being the MD of the band. So it's a big change for Steve, but he has dedicated people around him, like I will help him as much as I can, and everybody in the band, will support him. We will leave him dry.
Yeah. He's got a good support group, his wife, and he's got Amanda, and he's got a strong team of really, really solid, great people that are just looking out for Steve's best interest, right? There's
Yeah,
not like
of
these
course,
vultures over Steve Hackett, right? There's good people hanging around him.
yeah, he's such a nice guy, so it's easy to work for him. Like it's never no drama. You get paid in time, and those things that are so important if you are consider yourself professional.
Yeah.
And God knows, I've been in a lot of projects when you don't get your money, and that's horrible. I've been playing professionally 40 years now, so yeah,
It
sometimes you get
happens.
screwed. And Steve is not one of them. He's
Yeah.
the good guy. One of
Yeah,
the good guys.
he's definitely one of the good guys, and we could sit around and talk about Steve Hackett for a full hour because I mean, obviously, when the whole world was turning their back on our beloved genre, there was one man with one vision, and he kept the prog flames burning bright through all those dark ages. Well, we're not going to include Cured, right? That album didn't happen. But aside from that, he kept the prog flames burning bright all the way through. Steve Hackett is absolutely the most important figure in the entire history of prog. If you look at it from start to finish, Hackett is the man. Absolutely, he's my personal hero. And just know that you worked side by side with him is just kind of cool, man. I just love having you on the show, Jonas. I really do.
Yeah, he has so much cred, he quit the band 77 after the Second South tour. They had I think they sold out 3 nights at Earl's Court in London, which is quite a big thing. It's like 15,000 people, so they were really on the rise when Steve decided to quit, because he thought the music is taking a direction that he couldn't stand behind, and that's so cool that you never. And we all know what happened with Genesis. 5 years later,
They did okay for themselves.
Yeah, and they bought mansions and everything. But Steve is hardcore. It's all about the music. And that's so cool. I respect that tremendously.
Absolutely. That's what makes Steve an absolute hero. Because come on, bro. Steve Hackett's a smart guy. He knew exactly what was happening in 77, not just the musical change-up, right? He's a musician. He could hear that. Any idiot could hear that, Tony and Mike were writing some things that were a little bit different than what they had been writing, but he was also smart enough to know exactly what that was going to translate into. And that was going to translate into a whole boatload of money. And he still wouldn't sell his soul for it, man. That is prog rock right there at its absolute core. You're not selling out to the devil. And I'm not going to say anything bad about 3-man Genesis, because I adore everything Genesis ever did. Even the pop records, I don't care. They were fantastic. I love Abacab. I love the self-titled album. I do. It's just everybody knows that the records with Steve Hackett on them were better. Everybody knows that. It's Steve Hackett, people. Come on, stop. Don't be ignorant.
It was more adventurous for sure. It was. And to me, till this day, Selling England by the Pound is one of the best prog rock albums ever made. So that's it.
That's it, man. In a nutshell. So, Jacob, tell me a little bit about once Kai was done with the tracking and everything. Were you involved with it while he was actually tracking, or did he just give you, what he had done and said, "Here you go, make some sense of it. Try to make this sound good"? How involved were you with the actual recording process of this?
Yeah, so I think it was all the way done when he gave me the files. I think maybe he did a few extra overdubs. I don't quite remember, but it was.
You know how musicians are. There were a few extra overdubs. Come on, man. There was a few ones like right before the absolute deadline. Oh, I got one more thing I need to put in that track. Ken's smiling. Yeah. That obviously happened.
But this was one of those jobs where Kai had a very clear vision. He had some rough mixes, so it was not, he knew exactly what he wanted, and it was really just my job to give him that. He knew exactly what the project was supposed to sound like, and I think we had some shared sort of obscure interests like 1980s Eloy, things like that we sort of clicked on. So
somebody
it was
mentioned Aloy in the comments. There's somebody really with a very sharp ear that picked up a keyboard patch Kai was using and mentioned Aloy, and I hear it too.
Yeah. So
and yes, this album is all instrumental, Ian.
Yeah, it is. It was a really fun job, and I think there was one point where Kai was like, well, there was a particular drum reverb of a particular Eloy album that, that kind of stuff is the geeky stuff that makes my job fun. So I really enjoyed that. And then, so I mixed it and I mastered it, and I knew that Kai was looking for a label, and I knew that it was a great album that Ken would be interested in. So at some point I sent off a few rough mixes to Ken, and he can take it from there.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what it was. I heard, I think, a couple of tracks or so, and I said, yeah, I want to hear more. And it was great. So, yeah, I mean,
I feel like it's a scoop, right? Because there's there's a couple labels up there in Norway, right, that are functioning and current and sign Scandinavian bands left and right and front and center. That I think you got a scoop here, and I think there's going to be some people, in Oslo or Bergen right now saying, man, I wish we would have been able to have a crack at this thing, because this album's amazing. I'm digging it quite a bit. Pete Pardo liked it, didn't he, Ken? He did a review of it last week.
Yeah, Pete spooched over it.
Yep, so. He loved it. He loved it, and he's not wrong. It's really cool. I will be doing a review of it. Obviously, all the stuff everybody's talking about this record, also true. Kai, thanks for the T-shirt, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw this yet. Oh, yeah. The Agropelter T-shirt, it's just amazing. This is how you do it, boys and girls. I don't mean to lecture anybody on how to run a promotional company or a marketing firm, or perhaps a small label that, dives into the niche world of progressive rock, right? I'm not going to tell anybody how to do their job. Why would I do that? Not like anybody tells me how to do my job every 2 seconds or anything like that. Oh, no, perish the thought. But just a little hint, just a tip, just a little friendly reminder about how to roll out an album, how to do it right. And that's to take care of your boy, right? Shower him with gifts. It never hurts. It really doesn't. And if the album's actually good, then you get a whole hour on you. A whole hour talking about your debut album. Kevin, what's the next track we're going to listen to off said album? We haven't really said the name of the album often enough. It's called The Book of Hours. That's cool. Where'd that come from, Kai?
Well, I want to have some sort of adventurous feeling or medieval feeling. It's an instrumental album, so a concept piece doesn't really make sense. So I just wanted something that sounded a bit in the direction of adventure and that kind of stuff. So I think it fits pretty well.
I love it. I think it's cool. Hey, Zachary has a question for you, Jacob. Something like all technical and stuff about Dolby, Atmos, or spatial audio. I don't understand such things, but is this going to be available on one of those elevated digital formats?
Well, I think that's maybe up to Ken. I could do an Atmos mix if there was a market for it. I don't know how big that market is, really.
Okay, let's sell a bunch of these albums. Let's sell a bunch of these CDs. Go to lasercd.com. It's real easy, but for our European friends, Ken, where can they go?
They could buy it from Just for Kicks in Germany.
Just for Kicks. That's right. That's the one. Yeah.
In the UK, our English distributor is Plastic Head, and they have a retail site. So you do a little surfing around. You can find Plastic Head. Not exactly what they call it, but you could find it.
Yeah.
And those are two obvious places where you can find it. And also our German distributor, which is Alive, they work with Sonic Rendezvous for Benelux. So there should be, Sonic Rendezvous should be getting the album and CDs out to local retailers. It may, this is not like the old days where, you just walk into a record store and you had that Prog.
I miss those days, Ken. Why do you got to bring that up, man? Bringing a tear to my eye where you could walk into Tower or Virgin or Peaches and get the new Agropelter.
Yeah, used to be you walk into Tower Records and you'd find Agropelter. You might not find it in the bins of your local store, but it's available. We have worldwide distribution, and if you have a local store you have a relationship with, they can order it for you. So we work with Alliance Entertainment, which is the biggest one-stop in the world, and they have inventory. Plastic Head has inventory, Alive has inventory, Sonic Rendezvous just send off copies to Disc Union in Japan, so you can get it. But again, if you don't see it, if you don't see a little slot for Agropelter, walk up to the shop owner and see if you can order it, or you can go to lasercd.com. We have lots of copies in stock. If you're infatuated with Bandcamp, which is a great site, you can go to our Bandcamp site, which is I think it's lasersedge.bandcamp.com. So lots of ways to get this record. So
yeah. And
yeah,
Zachary is dead right about Norway. You're just scratching the surface of what's going on in Norway right now. Motorcycle, Yorzio, Gaspacho, Green Carnation's got a new album coming out. Kevin, have you heard it yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
The new Green Carnation's a good one, bro. Yeah, Norway's on fire. It's been on fire for a while. Those of you new to the channel probably don't know, but I have proclaimed that Norway is the king of prog right now, Kai. And Jonas, you probably disagree with that, right? You're probably thinking that is there a battle between Norway and Sweden at all?
Well, we used to own Norway up to 19...
Here we go.
So it's still considered our country.
So
whatever the guys do in Norway, it's ours in the end.
Nice.
So I don't think like that. I think Norway always had a good music scene, especially in the black metal.
Oh yeah.
All these bands that shaped the form and of heavy metal. It was a big thing, and I think we have. Yeah, and Norway is to thank for that, and Sweden had a few bands as well.
Oh, yeah.
That picked up on that, but Norway being in the forefront for a lot of things.
Yeah, you guys weren't burning churches down or anything like that in Sweden, right? That was a Norwegian thing, right, Jacob?
Yeah,
where all these black metalers are just going crazy.
We let the Norwegians do that, No, but
the Swedes were first. Because the Swedes, speaking as a Norwegian prog rocker, we looked to Sweden for inspiration because they had Flower Kings, they had Englagård, they had Anekdoten, they had Landberg, which, Ken released. So the whole 90s revival started in Sweden, and then the Norwegians picked up after that, and now we have a lot of bands and a lot of good bands, but it all started in Sweden, really.
There you go.
I think if you say Scandinavian, you're good.
There you go. It covers it. And we will never forget Bo Hansen, by the way. Ever.
No. He played with Jimi Hendrix as well.
Yeah. Well, what was that? Hansen and Carlson.
That's a famous story because Bo Hansen duo with Loffe Karlsson on drums. They played with Jimi Hendrix one night in Sweden, and that was like the pinnacle of what you could do in the 60s, play with Hendrix. And
Hendrix went on and performed a Hansen and Carlson song in concert a few times after that in tribute to his love for Bo Hansen. Anybody that thinks that Jimi Hendrix wasn't a genius, come on, man. He was like the first person that heard Bo Hansen and said, oh my God, that's it. Can you imagine?
I have a funny story about Loffe Karlsson, the drummer in Bo Hansen. We were a judge for the Swedish drum championship. So it was me, it was Mickey D from Motorhead, and nowadays with Scorpions. and Loffe Karlsson on drums. We sitting there and listening to like 30 drummers.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know,
How fun is that?
Yeah. And Loffe is like such a character, you know. Like he's dead now, so
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't mind. You know, rest his soul. And he got so drunk during this, you know, and he was the guy that was supposed to go and be the middle act between the drummers, you know, talk about the next drummer, you know, blah blah blah, interviewing him. But he was so pissed drunk at the end of the day, and he was crying, and he was remembering Jimi Hendrix and the good old days. You know, it was an amazing experience to sit with Loffe, because he's a big hero in Sweden. He did a lot of movies as well as an actor, not only drumming. You know, I think that's the Swedes will remember him as a TV figure. You know,
Really?
like a movie star. But to hear the stories about Hendrix and stuff, oh, there was such a great day actually in my life. I will treat it warmly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been told that master tapes exist of Hendrix and Hansen and Carlson, and I guess there's legal reasons why.
Let me at it, man. I want to hear that.
Jonas,
No way.
is that true?
No, I don't know anything about that, but you know, yeah, I know that they play together, and yeah. So
I have it on high authority that there are actual
Wow.
studio recordings. Maybe
I would like to hear that.
Yeah, you and everybody else. Probably the Hendrix estate doesn't want it released for some reason. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe one day we'll get to actually hear that. That would be amazing. But you know what we are going to be able to hear? You know, there's a title track on this here Agropelter album. It's not just an average title track. No, it takes up like all of side 2, and it has like a little piece of side 1 there. It's the 4-part, not 1, not 2, not 3. This sucker's a 4-part song. It's called The Book of Hours, and we've got part 2, right?
Part 2.
Part 2. You want to tell us anything about this track, Kai?
I think it was the first song that I actually wrote for this project.
Really?
So it, yeah, the demos sounded a bit all over the place, but I think I managed to pull it or make it usable in a way.
All right, well, let's do it, man. I'm psyched. Let's listen to The Book of Hours Part 2. I love that little callback. Oh, and Kiefer's in the house, everybody. Hey, Kiefer, how you doing, buddy? Oh, yes, indeed. This has been an awesome, awesome stream. We're talking about Agropelter. We just played 2 tracks off the record. I don't know about you clowns, but it sounds really good to me. Christopher, you've already said in the chat that you just went ahead and ordered it like while we were playing it mid-song. That's how you do it, boys and girls. You hear something you like, you order. Put your money where your mouth is. These guys are working hard, right? They're not making like a ton of money. Kai, you're not going to become a millionaire off this album, probably, are you?
Of course I am.
They're exactly right. That is the absolute right way to look at it. Prog rock is coming back, boys and girls. There is absolutely no reason in the world why we can't expect to see Prog's trajectory just take off. We've got a lot of great young artists. I mean, even just in Norway, right? We've got Kai. We've got the dudes from Crust. You know, there's a lot of young cats in every territory, right? Every nation's got all this next generation just ready to explode, right? Jacob Robert is here in the chat, right? I mean, it's just amazing. The next generation of Prog is here, and yeah, maybe this one won't make you a millionaire, but it'll be the first of the stepping stones that gets you there. Kai, an absolute pleasure to have you here on the show. What's your next move after this record comes out? Are you planning on like putting a live band together or anything? What are you going to do?
I don't think so, but you maybe. I don't know. Let's see. But
there's going to Ken, get ready. There's going to be such a huge demand for this thing. The masses are going to demand that Kai put together a live band. Not just one, but 2. A European one and a North American band, so that you can do the whole globe. And this record is absolutely good enough to warrant that kind of response. In an alternate universe, that's where we would be at. Kai, thank you so much, man. Awesome record. It's called The Book of Hours, boys and girls. It's by Agropelter. It comes out Friday on Ken Golden's own label, so you go to lasercd.com. Here in the U.S., lots of places you can get it, Bandcamp, etc., etc. Jacob Holm-Lupo, man, what an honor to have you on the show today. What are you going to be doing later today?
Well, today I'm not doing much. There's a heat wave here, so I'm just melting away. But I am actually working on a new White Willow album for Ken. I know he's really waiting for it, and he's very patient, and I love him. Eventually.
How long has it been since Future Hopes, Jacob?
I don't even want to count the years.
Yeah, it's been a while, right?
2017 or something like
that.
Yeah,
I think it was 2017.
Yeah. So, but
ancient
all the
history
is ready for the new album. It really just needs some overdubs and some vocals. Nice. So, it's coming. It's coming. And apart from that, mostly it's my business. You know, I'm mixing and mastering albums. A lot of great prog comes through here, so I get to keep a finger on the pulse, which is fun.
You get a lot of stuff come through your studio. It's not just all prog stuff that you work on, is it? I mean, you're kind of a busy guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's hard rock and there's hip hop and there's all kinds of things.
Cool.
So, fingers crossed it'll stay that way. I'm always worried about the rise of AI, and people go to these AI mastering services that sound like crap. So I'm just really happy and grateful that people still want to use an actual human being with actual ears.
That's right.
That's
yeah.
nice.
You need ears, man.
And
software is great, right? Software is helpful. You can't replace those suckers.
You can. And it's also very important with a guy like Ken, who appreciates the importance of sound. Basically, I mean, everything Ken does is audiophile stuff, and too few labels care about that. So it's great to have Ken.
Yeah, we know Ken cares about sound quality. We know Ken cares about quality, period. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Golden, his debut in the Prog Corner. Ken, was it good for you?
Oh, yeah. Why not? I'm with my friends here. What could be bad?
Exactly. No, thank you so much for showing up here, helping celebrate the release of this really, really cool album. Thank you so much for bringing it to my attention, and thus we can, bring it to the attentions of all the chicken heads all around the world watching this. Jonas, thanks for coming back on the show, agreeing to join on such short notice. I just hit him up. I'm like, hey, man, I got Kai and Jacob and Ken coming on. You're on the album too. Why not? Thank you so much. What do you got going on the next week or so?
I'm always behind. So I have a Swedish record to finish. I'm producing with an old friend 30 years back. We got a drummer from Roxette, the Swedish. So
I love Roxette, by the way.
It is what it is.
It's awesome, is what it is. I'm not kidding, man. Roxette's amazing.
But I have to finish that album next week, and also what we started with Steve here, and I'm hoping to write actually a little bit new stuff for Car Mechanic as well.
Yeah, we're not going to wait 19 years between albums.
No. I spoke to Larry at the Prog cruise, and we kind of said like, okay, let's make 2027 a big year for Car Mechanic, like big stages, not this scruffy little small things. Bump it up a bit.
Nice.
And so I would like to have a new album out by then.
Hey Jonas, how about a new fusion album?
Well, yeah, we always talking about that. Rob in Steve Hackett band, the saxophone player, and now we got Lalle. He will start with Steve Hackett.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
Yeah. So we have good chances to record off days. When we're not playing, the stage is ours, and the sound guy always running a 24-channel recording facility.
There you go. Just in case the magic happens, right?
Yeah.
We'll be ready.
Yeah, we already scheming about something, like doing something, like really, yeah.
There's always something. It's Jonas Reingold, people. You don't think this guy's like working angles and talking to people? Please, come on. You haven't been paying attention. Then clearly, you don't know what time it is at all. Jonas, you're an absolute gentleman. Thank you so much for being on the show. Kevin, what's new on Prog Radio? I haven't tuned in a couple days. I've had, obviously with my beloved Olive.
Yeah. Well, every week, we play an hour of music that's going to be relevant to the show. This week was a little challenging because they only have 2 singles out from a debut album. So that lasted 10 minutes of the hour show. So we played 2 of the new Car Mechanic songs.
There you go.
Last Friday, we did nothing but the epics that had come out this year. 10 hours of epics so far this year. Top of the list from our reaction was the Car Mechanic epic. So brilliant. So there were a lot of epics, but they absolutely love the Car Mechanic epic. So we played that, and then we played some it's Oddleaf, which Jacob mastered.
I love that album. Oh man, that Oddleaf album. Oh, so good. I love Karina. She's amazing. But yeah, Transmutation, man. That epic track, boys and girls. I know you've heard it. I'm talking to my crowd, my audience. Of course, they've already listened to the new Car Mechanic, but if by some small, infinitesimally small chance you have not heard the new Car Mechanic, boys and girls, you're missing out if you haven't heard that epic. I mean, some of the stuff is a little more radio friendly. I mean, it can delve into a little bit of AOR at times. You get to that epic, boys and girls, it might be the best thing I've heard in 2025, Jonas. It's that good, man. It's amazing.
But let me drop the bomb now, because my working modus right now is next album, 1 track only.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now we're talking. Yeah, buddy. That's going to make us happy.
I already started like thinking about it, and it's 60 minutes, and it will be called 60 minutes. And it's a snapshot of what's happening on the planet during a 60
I like
minutes.
that. I like that. I like that. Oh, that's a good.
one fucking track. I don't care if Spotify, like I get like 4 cent, 0.004 cent per stream. One track.
Yeah, it's not really, exactly. It doesn't make that big a difference if you ID it out as 4 tracks or one, right?
Yeah, I will not split it up. Just
yeah. It might make a difference for Marillion, right?
Yeah.
When Marillion cuts up those long tracks, it might make a difference for them. Probably not for you. I'm going to hold you to it, Jonas.
Yeah, but financially it does, because if you have 60 minutes of music and you cut it up in 12 tracks, of course you will get 12 times the money from Spotify, which is 12 times nothing. So it doesn't matter really, So I will be hardcore, just one track,
Just so you know, I have a good friend at Spotify, and for the longest time I have harped on that they need to change that model. It needs to be based on seconds or minutes or something else. It's very unfair to the prog artists.
Yeah, it's super stupid.
It's a losing battle, Kevin. You know that. They're not going to change.
I won't say anything for Spotify, but they need to change it, and I'm hopeful.
Spotify is only like a promotional tool for something.
That's it. And thank you, Jonas, for all you people out there that are my good friends at Deerhoof just made a big stink about getting off of Spotify, but they're not doing it for financial reasons. They're doing it for political reasons. That's a whole nother can of beans there. But the reality is it's a loss leader, bro. It's like when your song got played on the radio back in the day, unless every station in America was playing it, you weren't getting a whole lot for it. It was a loss leader to get the kids to the record store to buy the record. And then if they really like the record, to go see your concert when you came into town a month later. It's all just a big racket now. It's terrible what's happened in the music industry, but that's okay. We're going to keep fighting the good fight. I don't care about Spotify. I don't care about any of that crap. It doesn't matter because you know why, Kevin? Next week on the channel, we've got Alex Roten from the Gatekeepers, right? Do you know about these guys? This cat's got The Residents on this record. He's got Cheer Accident on this record. He's got our Stevie Moore. He's got Dan Britton. He's got so many people. We're going to be talking about his musical influences and his 10 favorite albums. I want to get inside that guy's brain, but we just signed a couple big old heavyweights after that, Kevin. August 3rd. Oh, boy. I'm so excited. Kairos is going to be here. Are you a fan?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Of Shelby Logan Warren? If you're not, you ought to be. She's amazing. Their last album, Mannequin, was absolutely incredible. They just put out a new EP a few months ago that had like a 10-minute absolute stellar mini epic on there. They've got a brand new bass player. Shelby called me to task about this whole dancing and prog thing, Kevin. That's where this whole thing started, right? Because when Kairos is on stage, like you go to a prog show and a dance party breaks out, right? That's their thing, right? They're kind of like that synth pop, really. I love their music. So we're going to have Shelby and the gang on. That's August 3rd. And then maybe you heard a little announcement from Inside Out. They signed a little 2-piece out of Canada called Crown Lands. I've got Crown Lands coming on the show August 10th. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a big one. Do you know about Crown Lands, Jonas?
No.
These guys are a 2-piece band. They play live. They're a 2-piece band, and it sounds like there's 5 guys playing. I don't even like Rush used to blow my mind with 3 people, right? I'd go see Rush and it'd be like Geddy was playing the keyboards and playing the bass, and he's got the foot pedals going and he's singing, All that's missing is like a harmonica hanging out of his mouth. I always wondered why he didn't do that. But Crownland does all that with 2 people. It's insane. It's insane. So that's August 10th. Kevin, mark your calendar. That's some pretty good stuff.
That's awesome.
And along the way, the new Discipline album's coming out August 1st. Oh, boy. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Mark Monforti over there doing the Lord's work. Oh, the new Discipline album. It's a good one, boys and girls. And we'll be talking a lot about that. And Ben Craven. You know Ben Craven, right, Kevin?
Oh,
he's one of my favorite artists of all time, and he just put together a brand new little band called Ambient Den. And I was kind of sleeping on it because it sounds like it'd be like
Yeah, the name's
music,
deceiving.
right? Like some Brian Eno music to fall asleep in an airport to, right? And I don't want to listen to that kind of music. I'm sorry. I like prog rock, and the word rock is in there. Sorry. Don't kill me, Vangelis fans. I like rock and roll. I'm sorry, I do. I just do. And oh boy, this new record that Ben Craven, this new band he put together called Ambient Den. Ken, you're selling it.
Oh yeah,
You've got the CD on sale over there. Oh, boys and girls, we're going to be talking a whole bunch about Ambient Den because it's absolutely amazing. Another record I'm really into these days, Kevin, is do you know that cat from St. Petersburg, Russia, calls his band Ros Vitalis?
Yes.
Ken, you knew all about Ros Vitalis, right? The Compassionizer and all that stuff. He's got a brand new album out as Ros Vitalis. It's called Dedication to Big Nick. Oh, man, it's so good. So we're going to be talking about all kinds of great records. It never ends. I never got around to reviewing the new Anders Buas record, so I promised him I'd do a review of it. Ditto with Hadal Sherpa. I promised them I'd do a review there. I'm terrible. And then you know about this? It's called Enigmatic Sound Machines. You talk about some weird. Do you play some of that?
We do
Kevin?
play it, yeah.
It's the dude from Men Without Hats, and like one of the most prolific reviewers on Prog Archives. He's also got a Facebook page where he does a whole bunch of reviews. Just crazy. There's so much great music going on. I don't know how you keep up with it all, Kevin. Playing it all on your station, I don't know, but. It never ends. World domination is assured, boys and girls. Stick around. It's going to happen. I want to say thank you, Jonas, for coming back on my little dog and pony show. Ken Golden, the professor of Prog. Just absolute honor to have you on the show. Jacob Holm-Lupo, man, I am just absolutely honored. Thank you so much for being on the show. And to Kay Olsen, the man of the hour, whose new album drops Friday, Agropelter, Book of Hours. Pick up your copy at lasercd.com. Anyway, boys and girls, I love you guys. Peace in the Middle East. Free Tibet, free the Ukraine, free your mind, free beer, free Willie, and God save the king. Save King Chucky. Kevin, we need to save that king. Oh, that boy, I hear he's not doing so good. Bring him to Ohio, I say. Oh, yeah, Ohio. Well, they're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Oh, yeah, it's all happening here in Ohio. You know what else is happening in Ohio over here, Ken Golden? We're dancing with them rattlesnakes. Oh, look out. Oh, we're dancing with snakes. Oh, yeah, it's going to help. Snakes taste a lot better than dogs do. Absolutely. Oh, we're dancing with rattlesnakes because that's the only kind of dancing we do. I'm sorry, Shelby from Kairos. We're not doing that. Absolutely not. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
All right.
Thanks.